A privately owned company in the U.S. In the construction-related industry, it wanted to sell the company a few years ago. All the known potential buyers were international companies, and none was from China. However, this company was only marginally involved with China at that time, buying a few percentage of its raw materials or semi-completed products from China. But in its effort to sell the company, it formulated a two-pronged strategy, with China being a big part of it. The first prong was to court Chinese buyers by offering them an entry point into the U.S. market where they had virtually no market share. And the second prong is to look into ways to work with the Chinese in both the China and the U.S. market, just to build up the company if it could not get its targeted price for an immediate sale at that time. But shortly after this China-centric two-pronged strategy was launched, the company was acquired by one of the biggest players in the industry because the Chinese threat was just too big, because the lead players, they could not afford to have the Chinese entering the market successfully and upsetting it. So I think it's true that whether your company is directly or indirectly related to China, you may somehow be impacted by something or some events relating to China, which means China should be considered, I believe, very strongly in your overall business strategy.
Now, Anita, that was a brilliant strategy. So people on the phone, business owners who may not be doing much business with China, just think about how this particular firm leveraged the Chinese marketplace and did not get purchased by a Chinese firm, but instead leveraged that to be purchased successfully by another buyer. So I think that's an incredibly valuable example that you just gave everybody on the phone who might be thinking, I'm too small, I'm not doing business with China. Why would China be interested in me? I'm not even going to think about it. Well, you just presented a tangential or maybe a leveraged approach to making China part of your sales strategy. So thank you for that. I think that's an extraordinary example.
You're very welcome.